Welcome to Project Aventador.
You're watching Will Motivation, the channel on YouTube where you not only get to check out some sweet supercars, nice cribs, and exotic destinations, but also get educated on different avenues that lead to success, no matter where you come from. Here is where we create, educate, and motivate. Welcome to Will Motivation. Holla!
Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we are recording from the build site for Project Aventador. As you guys know, I like to do a lot of videos where I share some of my strategies for investing in real estate. I like to share a lot of videos talking about the supercars, but more importantly, how I'm able to afford those cars. In today's video, I want to give you guys some background and basics on personal finance, because I started to think, like, I'm making all of these videos talking about how to afford these supercars by investing in real estate, by investing in the stock market. But what about those people out there that are still at step one or ground zero as far as building personal wealth, as far as building your finances? So today I want to talk about the basics of personal finances. If you already know some of the basics of personal finance, if you're already like doing these basic strategies to manage your money, then what you can do with this video is forward it to a young person or someone you know that can use these strategies to manage their personal finances. But I thought this video would be important because a lot of times I forget about the basics because I'm talking about, you know, high level things like investing and that kind of thing. So let's talk about the basics, starting with step number one. Step number one to building your personal finances is a first source of income. Normally for most people, that is holding down a steady 9-to-5 job or a steady job, doesn't matter what time it is or what shift it is, but having a steady source of income, that is step number one. All right, so a lot of you guys are like, step number one is super basic, get a main source of some income. But I want to go back to the basics. Like I said, if this is too basic for you, share this video with somebody that can use it, a young person or whatever. But I don't want to skip anything when I start talking about these higher level concepts like investing in real estate. So let's get to step number two. Step number two is build a banking relationship with a bank. And there's a lot of important reasons for this, right? Because a lot of people that I know personally, I got friends of mine that do this. A lot of people will actually use check cashing places. Why is it that you need to get a good banking relationship instead of using these check cashing places? A lot of you guys know the answer to this, but if you don't, when you use those check cashing places, they tax you and they get a lot of your money that if you had a bank account and you deposited your money into a bank, you wouldn't have that much money going to the financer or the check cashing place. Instead, that money will be going into your pocket. So don't use those, like quick cash check cashing places. Get a bank account, and then always be responsible with maintaining your balance. Don't let your balance go negative, but get a checking account, get a savings account, and then eventually you can get an investment account. But that's step number two, a banking relationship. All right, so real quick, the basics, right? The difference between a checking account and a savings account, because a lot of people I notice have one or the other, but there's a big difference, right? With a checking account, you're using that money that you put in your checking account to pay your bills, to pay your expenses. Money is going in and out on a frequent basis. And usually there are fees associated with how many times you do transactions pulling money in and out if you just have a savings account. Also, if you have a checking account, you can use a debit card, you can use a checkbook, and you can pay your bills from that checking account. Now, the difference though is with a savings account, you can actually put money there and try to save money and also gain a tiny bit of interest with your normal banking situations. But you don't want to be pulling money in and out of a savings account because sometimes there are fees. So that's what your checking account is for, and that's the difference between those two accounts. Then eventually you get an investment account and you put money into that, and then you put it into the market, like stock market, like 401k, different types of investments. So step number three. Now I'm going to start to move kind of quick because you got your primary form of income, like your steady job. You're depositing money into your banking account. You got your checking account. You're starting to save a little bit of money. You got your savings account. Now, step number 3 is start formulating or working on a second source of income. And if you're wondering what a second source of income is, let me give you a couple of examples. So, a couple of examples of secondary income after you have your first income set up would be starting a side business. It could be anything that you're interested in. Maybe you are a hobbyist, you have an interesting hobby, you can start a YouTube channel. Maybe it's something as basic as, you're a good cook, you're a chef. You can start building a business where you make food and you sell it to people. There's a lot of businesses out there like that. You can look on YouTube. A lot of people, they know me for investing in real estate. Real estate, investing is actually a side business for me, but I had to study it first. Then I actually got into it with one project at a time, and eventually that side business became a full-fledged business and a secondary or tertiary, like third or fourth form of income. All right, so it can be anything that you're interested in that makes money on the side. All right, so let's talk about step number 4, and that is start looking at everything you purchase as an asset or potential asset. So basically, building up your net worth. You might have heard me mention the keywords net worth. So basically, if you've never heard somebody mention the term net worth, what it means is basically everything that you own minus everything that you owe. So for example, you might own a car, you might own a house, you might actually have some cash stock, saved up, and then you might own like a car payment, like a balance on what you owe for your car, because you have a car loan, or maybe you own a little bit on your house and you have a mortgage. So whatever you owe, you subtract that from the value of everything you own, including whatever you have saved in cash, investments, and that kind of thing. So that is your net worth. The important thing about step number 4 is you got a bank account, right? You start saving some money. You got a steady job. You're working on a side income or a side hustle, and you got more income that you can save. So the smart thing to do so that you can be in a position to become like a serious investor is to start looking at whatever you buy as an asset. That's why a lot of times people say make your first big purchase a home instead of your first big purchase being a car. Because a lot of people see me riding around in a Lamborghini, and best believe before I bought one Lamborghini, I had probably 25 to 30 houses on my net worth personal financial statement. 30 houses to one Lamborghini. Think about that.
When do you know it's the final step? When am I going to finish doing the whole process?
All right, so step number 5 is pretty simple, but pretty profound and very important. Step number 5 is start to think and act like an investor. Because in step number 4, you learn to start looking at your purchases as assets and to start to build your net worth. But in step number 5, you intentionally buy things that will become good investments for you as you grow older, as you get more experience, as you get more money that you're saving in your your banking account, your savings account. You start buying houses, you start buying cars. When you have a house, you can leverage that house, pull money out of it, and use that money to invest in something that will maybe triple your money, double your money, or give you a really good return on investment. Let me give you guys a quick example because I actually used these basics to get to where I am today. For example, I started looking at my purchases. This is step number 4. Start looking at your purchases as potential assets. So what I did, I knew I had to have a place to stay. So every place I moved to, to live, I bought it. So I bought my first house when I had a family, 2 little kids and a wife. Then I needed a personal place for me. I was going through a divorce. I bought a condo instead of renting an apartment. I bought a condo. Then my next purchase where I was going to live, the neighborhood where I live now, I bought a house. And so I had all of those properties that became assets to me. In step number 4, start looking at your purchases as assets. I maintained and kept those houses. And then when I had a little bit more money saved up in my savings account, I started thinking like an investor, and I started investing in real estate and buying super cheap houses that now have like probably doubled or tripled my net worth since the time that I started. All right, so where are we right now? We're actually in one of my investment projects. We call this project Project Aventador. It's a new build from the ground up. As you can see, it's going through framing. Let me show you guys a little bit of what this project looks like. All right, so right now we're on the second floor of Project Aventador. This is going to be a shared bathroom for the second floor, bedrooms. There are on the second floor 4 bedrooms. So let's do like a quick pan to show them like what it looks like. And there's a loft, so you could have 5 bedrooms up here if you want to, like easily. You got like a video game area right there. You got a sitting area right here. You got 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, master bedroom. That's 4 bedrooms on the second floor, and a huge master bathroom and closet. Check this out. So this is the master bedroom, right? Where you're standing right there, the master bedroom. Right here is going to be like master bathroom with a closet, shower. Shower's going to be lit. You could be in here with your honey, sitting down, like, hey baby, how was your day today? You see what I'm saying? It's going to be lit. Then look at the size of this closet. Now, fellas, if you want to have a happy woman, make sure you get her a huge closet. And when she acts up, now, this is my most prized, customization on this house. And that is, I added 2 windows instead of 1. Because I wanted to make sure in the master bedroom, they had a beautiful view of the neighborhood. And from here you can actually see the lake all the way over there. You can see the park. So if you got kids that are playing and stuff in the park, you can see them. So this is the first floor. You got a formal dining room. Right now you're standing in the kitchen space. So you have your refrigerator, your stove, your pantry. You got a sunroom or your breakfast room right here. Which you'll also have a view of the park out the back, which is super important with this house. A really nice sized living room. And one thing that I'm probably gonna do custom is I'm probably gonna build a fireplace right here, like an electric fireplace, like a digital fireplace, what they call it. And on the other side over there, it is your in-law suite. So basically, if your mom comes in town and she needs a place to stay, she'll have everything she needs right in here. She'll have a full bathroom right there. She'll have a bedroom with a nice sized closet right here that you can see. And when you come in, you got storage. You give her a little refrigerator right here, a little microwave, and a little storage area right there coming out the garage. So this house is gonna sell for $1 million. All right, so what is the message of the day?
God bless you all.
All right, she said God bless you all. Those are nice shoes too. What people don't realize is that I actually build a house with my own bare hands, and I use all the equipment, and I drive these machines. I lift the wood up to the second floor. It's a lot of hard work, man. Oh, I didn't know you were recording. I was getting ready to put in some work. My purpose today is to record a YouTube video that will help somebody out there realize their potential because they had an uncle named Will Motivation online giving them a little bit of simple advice about organizing their finances. So if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button for me. My name is Will Motivation. I like to share these videos, and please hit that subscribe button.
Hard work.